Hello, my friend. Stay a while and listen.
What's going on, guys? It's Filthy and I'm back with another video. Today we're taking a look at Legacy Dream's Corpse Explosion. So this is with the kind of same sort of parameters as the mages we looked at yesterday. So we're looking to do kind of 95 with like about 16,000 main stat. Not like massively optimized, but you can see this has obviously got quite a bit of kick to it. Now, different to the mages is we are much more reliant on Land of the Dead in this build, because we're obviously, we need corpses to blow stuff up with Corpse Explosion. But what we're trying to do is make Land of the Dead last a little longer, so we're going to pick the rune that extends the duration, so not the Frozen Lands one, Shallow Graves I think it's called. We've got the Golem in the build, got that on a pretty short cooldown, so we can always teleport, generate a corpse, use the Golem, blow that up. What I would say is this is squishier, as you can probably see, than the mages we brought yesterday, because they were super tanky, and this is even with running a Unity in this setup. I have done with COE and that works pretty well, but the problem you've got, this is perfect cooldown pylon. The problem you've got with the COE is obviously it's just an extra layer of mitigation lost, and because it's Corpse Explosion, all the damage is like at absolutely point blank range. So what that basically means is that you can't really avoid a lot of damage, you just kind of have to grin and bear it. So things like frozen on the floor is a bit difficult, molten explosions, there's just no way of getting out of them really. But it's a bit different to the mages, feels more engaging to play, I'd say. A bit more of a wild ride, possibly quicker, just depends maybe on the map, and cooldown pylon obviously helps a lot. But it's nice to have unperfect shield pylon, so that's nice RNG for this. So we're using the Johnstone for the macabre stacks, but no illusory boots, as you can see, getting stuck in between stuff. But yeah, when we've got corpses, we're pretty much wrecking. Just obviously the battle is trying to get the corpses in the first place. But once we've got one, we're pretty much away. Just trying to save Land of the Dead here for the Rift Guardian, just because it makes it obviously a lot easier. Not always possible, but you see, if you're not killing with like one Corpse Explosion, you kind of got a bit of a problem. You need to get that kill. We're using the cold rune on that, by the way, just to make sure that we freeze and proc the Crispins. So pop Land of the Dead now. Using the reworked Simulacrum to hit twice as hard as well. So there you go, 3-minute run whilst commentating, not too bad. So there we go, guys, that was GR95 in about 3 minutes, so not too shabby. As I say, similar parameters to mages yesterday, about 16k main stat, so not the hardest thing to achieve, and some of these pieces could definitely be improved upon. Now this is a Legacy Dreams build, so we need the gem at rank 99 preferably if we can get it there. That will give us just under 10,000% modifier on all of our damage, as well as give us just over 50% damage reduction. Now Blizz have been very kind to us, they have increased the Corpse Explosion base damage up to 1,000 or just over, which is pretty nice. We can take the Dead Cold rune and this will basically freeze for us, so whenever we hit with Corpse Explosion we get a freeze. And as we all know, that's very important for Crispin Sentence, because we get 300% damage modifier against anything that is stunned or frozen. So hitting with Corpse Explosion freezes, so this mod is up whenever we deal damage, which is very, very nice. The only thing it doesn't affect is Juggernaut. They are immune to CC, so this build can deal with Juggernauts, it's just they are a little bit slower. Now the Corpse Explosion gloves have also been buffed, so this used to be 100% on PTR, it's up to 200%, so obviously these things can be subject to change, but I can't, I mean Corpse Explosion is clearing pretty high on the board, so maybe this will get brought down, but hopefully not. Now it stacks up to 5 times, so you just need to bear in mind your first Corpse Explosion is going to be your weakest, and then after that you really do get going. So more density means this kind of bonus is up more often and you dump out more damage. We're going to take a Tragul's Corroded Fang. This is going to give us another nice 200% damage modifier, provided an enemy is cursed. The curse is handled by Aura Frailty. Aura around a character like this. That's great because it means that Corpse Explosion, which is a fairly close range skill, will be tagged with, enemies will be tagged with the curse, and they'll take this extra damage. The curse incidentally also gives us 50% damage reduction. So this is up most of the time. It is obviously possible for something over here, like miles away, to hit you with Molten, and maybe you don't have anything cursed, but on the whole that buffs up quite a lot. Now we're going to take the Shadow Hook, and this is basically just going to give us more damage for every point of essence we have. So similar to the mages, we're looking to get to 660, which is the magic figure, which is the max essence we can have. So that is secondary on your scythe, secondary on your offhand. Put it in your Paragon points, and also we're going to take a passive for some more essence as well. Now I've also reworked on the PTR, and I've included this in quite a lot of builds because it is quite fun now. Haunted Visions, Simulacrum now lasts forever, and that means that we get this Reservoir rune on here which doubles our essence pool up all the time. So that is 330% extra damage from the Shadow Hook. Now I like this over Nares because with Nares you can get a high multiplier, but you're restricted to poison only skills. So this gives us a bit of freedom on the bar, and it does hit pretty hard, so yeah, pretty good. I think that's pretty much it for damage. Obviously damage gems in the pants and in the chest piece. And then after that we're obviously going to try and gear for cooldown because we want to get the command golem back, because with the flesh golem rune the guy is a walking pile of corpses. So when we pop him down, then he does corpses. We can then blow them up with corpse explosion, free stuff and melt it. So we get 25 seconds off the cooldown with these pants, so that's pretty good. And then we gear obviously for CDR, so similar to the mages, we're taking the Vigilante belt for 8% cooldown, taking the Leoric's crown to double the cooldown gem in the helm, and then we're just looking to roll cooldown pretty much everywhere. I don't have it on the gloves, I've gone for crit damage. Cooldown might be better, obviously shoulders, weapon preferably, again I'm missing it on here. Cooldown on the offense, so I could get this to function a lot better. I've got just under 50%, so another 10% on there, 12% is certainly achievable, like the mages yesterday, and that obviously would help us out quite a bit. Other than that, it is pretty much toughness, so we don't have any spenders, so the Aquila Carass is giving us 50%. That's in addition to the Legacy Dreams and the Dainties that we've already covered. The Golem gives us another 30%, so that is fairly tough. The mitigation in theory should be about similar to mages, but as I said in the commentary, because we're like so up close and personal, it's really hard to avoid a lot of incoming damage, so you do get kind of dumped on. The boots are going to be the Stuart's Greaves. These will allow us to run really fast after we teleport, and then again offhand, because we're using a cold skill, we may as well take the lost time and get the extra move speed, so this stacks up to 50%. So we do run really quickly, so again it feels a bit faster than mages, but because the mages do like the screen wipe for us, you know, maybe it's a bit more efficient. It's very hard to tell. I've played both a lot, they both are quite fun. The last gear piece is completely open shoulders. You could take Pauldron to the Skeleton King for a small chance at a free life. I probably would try and craft myself a better pair than this with 2 yard pickup radius on corruption. So these are craftable at the blacksmith. So really cheap to get a ancient pair, and you just want corpse explosion and cooldown on it. Corpse explosion you can also get on your chest piece, and you can also get on your offhand. And then other than that, stuff the build full of cooldown, stuff it full of double crit, and you should be good. Area damage also works perfectly fine with corpse explosion, so again that would be something nice. So dream shoulders presumably end game would be int, cooldown, corpse explosion and area damage, but yeah. Right, so looking at the skills, corpse explosion, dead cold, we've covered that. Simulacrum Reservoir, again using that trick to double the essence, which hits hard with the Shadow Hook. Golem Flesh Golem for the pile of corpses, which is dead handy. Aura Frailty, which is, I mean, this takes 15% of everything's health, so stuff dies at 15% health, which is nice. Gives us the 50% DR from the Dainty's Binding, gives us a 200% damage from the Tragul's Corroded Fang. Land of the Dead, Shallow Graves, we're just going for this so that we can extend those infinite corpses to 12 seconds over 10, because we do have the freeze on here. You could maybe swap it the other way around, so you could go for the normal freeze rune here and go for poison here. The poison hits about 50% harder. What I find though is that because we've got such high access to the golem, it's much better to have the freeze, because we can plop the golem down and then we get that Crispin's proc. So obviously if you swap this to poison, this to freeze, you'd be doing 50% more damage whenever you hit with corpse explosion, but you're not getting the freeze off, so that's kind of why it's the way it is. Blood rush molting, just so that we can teleport, leaves a corpse, we can then blow it up, and then hopefully that's enough to kind of like start off a chain reaction where we can just blow up a little bit of an area around us. Now obviously the golem is actually quite important, because that will definitely start the fire for us. So, you know, again, we just need a little bit of luck and a little bit of density. But other than that, I think that covers the skills. Dark Reaping is here just for sustain. We obviously don't have any essence spenders, but if we don't have this in, then the life just goes down and we struggle, because Simulacrum drains 1% anyway from the necklace, but we kind of need another source of sustain, and that's where Dark Reaping comes in. Overwhelming Essence, I've been saying this a lot because we're using this new Haunted Visions and Riley and Shadowhook a lot. More essence is more damage. Blood is Power is absolutely vital. 20% cooldown off your Land of the Dead. You will definitely proc this every Land of the Dead cycle. You'll probably proc it fairly often on your golem as well, so let's say you wanted to take Command of the Risen Dead for 30% off the golem, well, you probably may as well take Blood is Power, because when you really need your golem is when you're taking damage. If you take all of your life or near enough, then this is going to activate, and then standalone just to beef up the toughness, because we've only got one minion, so that's a 90% armor increase. Now you'll note there's no cheat death on here, and that is because we have taken the Unity, tried to structure it in a way that we don't really need it. Now you could by all means, and as I say, I've played a lot with this and I'm really torn as to which to go for. You can put the Convention in instead of the Unity, and then maybe take the cheat death passive and probably drop. Very difficult to leave any of these three out, but you could drop Overwhelming Essence and get a little bit of damage loss, or you could drop Standalone and just say, well, I'm going to activate my cheat death fairly often. But what I found, the smoothest ride for me personally is using Unity. So obviously if you're in groups, then Lornell Sunstone will do a fairly decent imitation. But that is pretty much the build, guys. Corpse Explosion always has been one of my favourite things to do as a necro. Very satisfying, nice to blow stuff up. It can sometimes feel a little annoying whilst you're just waiting for your golem to come back, but it is very quick, and we do have the little teleport to drop the corpse. So all in all, it's really nice. We've got two 95 3-minute speed builds that we've discovered already. Hopefully the new necro set can get a little bit of a tweak, or we can work out another way of doing something with that, and then that's going to be really nice because we're going to have some very good speed options. But other than that, guys, that's the build. I hope you like it. I'll be back with some more Season 21 PTR stuff just as soon as I can. Hope you're all staying safe. Catch you soon. Take it easy. Peace.